guest. Welcome everyone to Influencer Fridays, Phil's Virtual Kitchen. Today we have Jesse. Jesse, what are we reviewing today?
Jay, good morning. This morning we've got DaVinci Gourmet Syrups. So, as we watched on the intro there, we've got some syrups that look a lot like they're going into coffee, and I'm going to try and put my barista hat on this morning, but also talk about some of the other uses that I think these could be used for. So we've got 8 different offerings that we'll get into.
Awesome. Thanks, Jess. I'm excited about this one.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. There's lots of variety here.
There totally is. Have you ever cooked with those kind of things like that?
Yeah, and I think, that's definitely what I want to get into, as well as some other drink options. I think, when we look at summer and changing up our drink offerings from our bar programs, looks like there's some good options here to use for both food and for the front of house purposes, which, when we talk about cost savings and keeping our inventories low is always an awesome option.
Awesome. So folks, everyone's going to be watching this today or later on today. We rate everything good, great, or wow on the show. This is not scripted. Jesse has not tasted any of those syrups, which is pretty crazy. He hasn't tasted any of them or had them in his coffee today. So this will be the first time that he does. And we're going to rate them good, great, or wow. We're not going to do all of them, but Jesse's going to pick 4. I get to pick. Jake, do I get to pick?
Yeah, sure. Why don't I tell you what I've got here, and then Jay, I'll let you have the honors. So we'll show you the bottle up close here, one of the bottles. Okay. So, nice clean looking bottle. So this is our rosé, right? That's going to be a huge flavor profile for our summer. We've got a habanero, so a habanero pepper.
Put that one to the side.
Okay, so I'm tasting that when I take it. Okay, great. Well, I don't want to mess up my display here. I worked really hard on it this morning there, Jay. So we've got an old fashioned flavor.
Okay.
We've got watermelon, blackberry, lavender, peach, and finally we've got sour gummy candy. For those of you who like to live on the edge, which I feel like I'm going to be doing this morning.
That is so your first one, Jesse.
Okay.
All right, here we go, folks. DaVinci, we are gourmet syrups. We are tasting for the first time. Good, great, or wow.
Ooh, you can tell it's the first time. Had to prime the old pumps that we got sent on these, but
no fake stuff here. It's all real. Good, great, or wow.
That definitely tastes like a Jello shot, I'll be honest with you. But it packs a super flavorful punch. So again, I could see myself in the kitchen using something like this to turn into a reduction. So in its syrup form right now, bring it down. Could be something to top a dessert potentially, right? It is obviously very sweet, so I could see it being used on that side of the menu, or a number of different cocktails, something like that. These are quite flavorful, so I can't see you having to mix it with more than maybe your spirit if it's an alcoholic beverage and some soda or something like that. So make operations simple. I don't know if I would put the sour gummy candy in my coffee. I think I would be much more along some of the other flavors for that one. But if you're feeling wild, sometimes on Fridays, right, we do some wild things. So maybe.
Love it. Let's go for it. All right, next one. I want that orange one. What's the orange one again?
Well, Jay, I have to rate them unless you don't want me to follow our system. You just preach the system.
Sorry, man. Sorry. Let's go for it. Good, great, or wow.
No, that's a good start to the day. So we'll give our sour gummy candy a good.
Good. Okay. All right.
What's next? The orange?
Yeah, we're gonna leave the habanero one to the end.
Oh, great. Amazing. I'll wash it down with some old fashioned syrup.
I don't want a scoop. I want a shot glass.
Okay. Easy. So we've got our peach next.
Okay, peach. What's it smell like? What did it smell like?
Well, Jay, as you might expect, it smells like peaches. Crazy, I know. Yeah, I you know what? One of the things that I thought was kind of interesting about these, just for home use too, is like, or even like some of the restaurants do like a build your own burger, those sorts of menus, like a build your own margarita for the summer, right? So you've got like peach. You could have a lavender margarita. There's the habanero, right? So like I've seen jalapeno margaritas on a few drink menus, something similar.
Yes.
Watermelon. So that might be an interesting offer, right? You've got your like a simple syrup. Actually, you could probably keep the simple syrup out with how sweet some of these are, but then you've got your lime juice and your tequila, and I think a little bit of water, and there you go. There's a build your own menu right there with all these offerings. So that was just kind of something that came to mind.
Awesome. All right, so we got 2 out of the way, 2 more to go. Okay, let's go. What's the pink one again?
The rosé.
Let's go rosé.
Rosé it is.
Look like a rosé wine, kind of.
Yeah, it's got like that nice. It's not like a neon pink. It's kind of just a nice subtle, deep pink, a rosé color, if you will.
Yeah, no, wait. Did we rate that last one?
We didn't. You skipped it. I'm not going to say that's been a trend this morning, Jay, but maybe you should have had your coffee with your DaVinci syrup in it this morning.
Missing that. So what are we going to rate that last one up?
We're going to go good. That was a good.
That was a good too. Okay, cool.
All right, so we're going to rock the rosé syrup now.
Okay, rosé, no bites before, never tasted before.
Yeah, I'll give that one a good as well. It's yeah, it's not like super sweet. I know we kind of started. What's that? Sorry,
you threw that good out right away.
Yeah, I mean, like when you start with sour gummy candy, we're starting quite sweet, and peach is even quite a sweet flavor, but that one's a lot more subtle. So I could see it being used in maybe some more craft cocktails. You could probably mix it into like a sauce or something.
Cool.
Again, like rosé reduction might be nice depending on the dish. So
coffee.
Yeah, coffee. Yeah, you could throw that one in your coffee for sure. That's definitely one I would throw it in there. Yeah.
Hey, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Because you're a millennial. It's not a bad thing. It's a great thing. Do you look when you go to get a coffee and stuff like that? Do you just have it black, or you put stuff in it like this?
Well, I'm going to give you probably the most chef answer ever, and that is that I live off of sugar-free Red Bull, because there's there's enough stuff in there that you might as well keep the sugar out. But if I drink coffee, it's generally just black coffee. I'll treat myself to a crafted coffee of sorts once in a while or something like that, but I find like in the kitchen it's always hot, so if it's a coffee, like I'd rather it be iced, and that's I think one of the reasons I generally go to a sugar-free Red Bull, which I'm not hiding it behind my display of syrups at all. So
now I'm gonna ask you this question too, okay? And we'll talk about millennial. I gotta ask you a couple of questions about millennial chefs, because I think
of course.
First of all, you're changing the industry forever, which is awesome, and you're making things happen, which is even bigger. But I have a question for you at the end. Totally not related to the syrup.
Okay.
Okay. So that was a good. So we got 3 goods. Last one, and don't use a teaspoon. I want to see a big tablespoonful of the habanero one.
I'm just working off the spoons that I have here, Jay. Cisco hasn't sent me any spoons, so I'm just working off of what I've got. Sorry.
All right. Sorry. We're gonna go there.
Oh, that's a large quantity of habanero.
Large quantity habanero, good, great, or wow.
Oh, it smells like it's got a kick to it.
Here we go.
Oh. Woo. Okay, I'm awake. That packs a punch. You know what? I'm gonna give that one a great. And simply because for what I would expect out of a syrup, that has some kick to it, some Scovilles, I believe. You might say.
That was Scoville?
That's Scoville. So, yeah, I think, hey, if you like some spice, that actually would go really well in the coffee. But again, like, how awesome would it be to offer a habanero margarita, and the only additional thing you have to do to it really is throw a pump or two of that in there? I think that would be awesome.
Does that exist, Jesse? Is a habanero margarita?
Why wouldn't it?
I think it's brilliant, by the way. See, once again, you come up with a wicked idea. We had breakfast wings last week. Now you're throwing out habanero margaritas.
Hey, look, I'm a chef. I'm a barista. I'm a mixologist.
Cheese lover. Cheese lover.
Cheese. Oh, give me the feta all day, every day, right? So, us millennial chefs, we just we do it differently.
I love it. So you have 3 goods, 1 great, DaVinci Gourmet Syrups. Today's you're gonna have those for a while, I assume. But
I think I might have a backyard margarita party this summer. So you just keep an eye out for the invite.
I love it. So I have a question for you in relationship to being a millennial.
Yes.
Do chef millennials live on their phone quite a bit?
It depends, and I think I think the short answer is probably more than you would anticipate, but I think it's twofold. So number one is, when it comes to managing the business these days, like, there's so many different forms of communication that are all electronic. That's why I'm on my phone a lot, and that's obviously a little bit more characteristic to the corporate side of the industry, which is where I live. So that's number one. And number two is, when we look at menus or ideas on menu items and stuff like that, before you used to have to grab a cookbook and go through it and find this and that. And now you can Google an ingredient, or there's apps that you can plug a couple ingredients into, and they give you all sorts of ideas. And so
that was my next question, was going to be, where do you live on social? Like, where do millennial chefs live on social?
I don't know if I'm characteristic of a millennial chef in that regard. Like, I love Instagram for the visual aspect.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I'm on the tail end of the millennials in terms of age. So I don't do the TikTok very often. I'm getting more used to it. Obviously, because I called it the TikTok instead of TikTok.
Hey,
I don't know what other, like, Pinterest is pretty good.
Really? Chefs go on Pinterest quite a bit?
I wouldn't say quite a bit, right? Like, I think it's kind of an outlier, but I would say Instagram is my favorite. And then I would imagine, like, I think it's an opportunity for me to be on TikTok more, based on what I think there is on that platform for food and for chefs.
Yeah.
I've just been old and stubborn, which half the viewers are going to say, okay, that's interesting, when it comes to taking that plunge. But I've seen a lot of very popular, trendy recipes come from TikTok, and I think you had a segment recently where you tested some TikTok recipes.
We have a show that airs once a month with Richard.
So I watched one of those, and that was super interesting. He was making like the crisscross accordion potato fry things, and I think those are just awesome platforms to find new dishes. And the cool thing about that is, you very rarely see someone actually just copy it as seen. As chefs, we take the idea or the inspiration, and then we just kind of go from there and put our own twist on it. Maybe throw some habanero syrup on it, and onto our menu it goes.
Awesome. Well, you know what? Thank you for those insights. I just had some questions I probably tucked off air, but it just allows everyone else that watches our shows and different things. This is why we do our SVK network, is because we want to reach out to the millennials and Gen Z that are like Jesse out there rocking the world in the culinary scene. That's why we do these things like this, and that's why we do these product reviews like no one else is doing across North America, I think, now. And anyway, so super awesome. Thank you so much, Jesse, for today's quick Influencer Fridays. We got 3 good, 1 great, DaVinci Gourmet Syrups. Check it out on their website. Amazing ideas they have. They're great products, all stuck at Cisco. Awesome. Thank you so much, Jesse. And we'll see you later. We'll see you next.
Have a great Friday.
Cheers. Thanks, everybody.